Salve Discipoli, and welcome to week 6 of our distance learning extravaganza. If you've been routed here, you're probably a member of 3rd grade Latin. Alright, so let's just go through and figure out what I'm expecting from you this week. Okay, so what I want you to do, watch this video. Please fill out the week 6 work packet as we're going through this video. And then I want you to submit that work packet for credit. Okay, then you're going to take a chapter 12 open book quiz online. And in addition to that, you need to submit your flashcard journal, your flashcard calendar for April. Okay, that's going to be 100 minutes minimum. Please be sure that you're studying 100 minutes. Remember, for each minute that you study, you get a point. Okay, so if you study 100 minutes, you get 100 points. And that homework counts 4 times because it's a month-long assignment. All right, so make sure you're getting that into me, please. All right, that's a big chunk of your grade. All right. So without further ado, let's go over last week's open book quiz from chapter 11. All right. Number 1, creo, creare, to create. Or I create, to create, I created, created. Number 2, exploro, explorare, exploravi, exploratum. Is I explored, to explore, I explored, explored. Number 3, cogito, cogitare, cogitavi, cogitatum is I think, to think, I thought, thought. Muto, mutare, mutavi, mutatum is I change, to change, I changed, changed. Okay, number 5, dubito, dubitare, dubitavi, dubitatum is I doubt, to doubt, I doubted, doubted. Okay, number 6, magnus, magna, magnum is large or great. Number 7, parvus, parva, parvum is small. Verus, vera, verum is true. Falsus, falsa, falsum is false. Dubius, dubia, dubium is doubtful. Okay, now that was just vocabulary. Here's some grammar questions. All right, now for 11, 12, and 13, it is helpful to know the pattern chant. Pattern A has a simple form. It's made with a verb and a subject noun. SNV, SNV. Pattern A has a simple form. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Two nouns surround a small LV. SNLV, PRN, SNLV, PRN. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Pattern C is similar to B. A noun needs an adjective, don't you see? SNLV, PRA, SNLV, PRA. Pattern C is similar to B. All right, so if you know your sentence pattern chant, you'll be A-okay with those questions. All right, number 14. A noun is a person, place, or thing, or an idea. 15. A verb is an action word. Okay. And number 16. An adjective is a describing word. Okay? 17. What are the 3 types of questions adjectives answer? Okay, the answers are which one, what kind, how many. Okay? Now, don't worry, I have to go through the grades. Some of you guys were freaking out because it marked your answer incorrect. All right, if you wrote some kind of answer like this, that's fine. It just means I have to, short answers I have to look over before I submit it. I have to check them, okay? So that's fine. And those grades will be posted on RunWeb ASAP. All right, number 18. What is the order that the dictionary form of adjectives take? Okay, from last week, remember, it's masculine, feminine, neuter. All right, an example of that would be the word for living, which is we wus, we wa, we wum. Us is masculine, a is feminine, and is neuter. All right? So that's the order. Masculine, feminine, and neuter. Okay. Number 19. What are the 3 ways a noun and an adjective must agree? They must agree in gender, number, case. Ha. Ha ha ha. Ha ha. Okay? And that's all from last week. All right, now, moving on to this week. You know the drill. Speed test time. So please pause the video, take the speed test, and then when you're done, hit play, and we'll go over the answers. Ready, set, ghost. Okay, welcome back to Latin. We are going to go over the answers now. All right, so if you need time, you can pause this video on this screen so you can check your answers. But when you're ready, we're going to sing the chants together. Okay? It's good for practice. So here we go. We're going to sing the chants now. Please sing along with me. 5, 6, 7, and A, E, A, M. A, E, A, R, U, M. I, S, 2. Now the first declension's through. Now we're on to number 2. U, S, I, O, U, M. O, I, O, R, U, M. I, S, O, S, and I, S, 2. U, M, I, O, U, M. O, A, O, R, U, M. I, S, A, I, S. That's the neuter second declension. Wah, wah. All right, and let's do our verb ending song, the conjugating Latin verb song. Here we go. Conjugating Latin verbs as easy as can be. O-S-T, M-U-S, T-I-S, and T. O-S-T, I-U, he, M-U-S, that means we. T-I-S is y'all and N-T they, hooray! Conjugating Latin verbs as easy as can be. O-S-T, M-U-S, T-I-S, and T. All right. So those were our chants. We'll do them every week, as we've been doing. Okay, it's good practice. And then one day you'll be singing them in your sleep. Ha! And that'll be good for your Latin skills, for sure. All right, so now let's move on to part C. We're going to do a little more chant review, just to kind of bring your minds back. You heard me do this earlier, but now since the words are in front of you, perhaps you'll do it with me. Okay? You know how this one goes. So, ready? Here we go. Pattern A has a simple form. It's made with a verb and a subject noun. S and V, S and V. Pattern A has a simple form. Pattern B is a pattern of being. 2 nouns surround a small LV. S N L V P R N. S N L V P R N. Pattern B is a pattern of being. Pattern C is similar to B. A noun needs an adjective, don't you see? S N L V P R A. S N L V P R A. Pattern C is similar to B. Okay, so that's it. That's the sentence pattern chant. And we're going to need that today. So keep that in your memories. For now, what I'd like you to do, part D is a little bit of vocabulary review. Okay, so we've got chapters 9, and chapters 11. So please pause the video, do the matching, all right? get as much as you can done without me and without my help. And then when you're ready, please hit play on the video so we can go over the answers. And welcome back. So you should have just completed your vocabulary review. All right, so now let's check our answers. All right, I am not going to actually go through them with you because you do not need me to study your vocabulary. What you should do though is pause the video now so that you can, check these answers, all right, with yours and make sure that you got them right. Okay, so pause the video now and we'll be back in a moment. And welcome back. Okay, so now part E. It's time to learn some new vocabulary. All right, so this vocabulary is awesome. We're going to do adjectives, and they're orange. Okay, so as I'm going to color code my vocabulary. You can do the same as well. I would actually recommend it. All right, but make sure you have them color coded and defined, just like I do in my notes. All right, this is also the part of the programming where you must repeat the Latin after me. Okay, it's still important that you're saying your Latin out loud. Okay, so here we go. Please repeat after me. Bonus, bona, bonum. Okay. Now let's just go through and say them. All right, repeat. Malus, mala, malum. Notus, nota, notum. Ignotus, ignota, ignotum. Novus, noa, novum. Antiquus, antiqua, antiquum. Serenus, serena, serenum. Iratus, irata, iratum. Laetus, laeta, laetum. And miser, misera, miserum. Okay, so we've just pronounced all the new vocabulary words. Now let's go through and define them. Okay, so bonus, bona, bonum, means good. Hehe. Malus, mala, malum means bad. Notus, nota, notum means known, while ignotus, ignota, ignotum means unknown. All right, novus, noa, novum means new. Antiquus, antiqua, antiquum means old. All right, like an antique. That's where we get that word from. Okay, serenus, serena, serenum means calm, bright, or clear. Right? It can have 3 different meanings. All right, iratus, irata, iratum means angry. There's a smiley face. Okay. And laetus, laeta, laetum means happy. Yay. And miser, misera, miserum means miserable. Wah, wah. He's crying. So sad. No. Okay. so that is our new vocabulary. Now I want you to notice that all of our vocabulary for this week are adjectives. Okay, and remember, adjectives modify or describe a noun. So let's go through. Here's another part of this week that you are going to kind of do on your own. Now, my screen looks a little different from yours, but what you should know is that, so I'll fill in the example. I'm sorry, I'm spacing out here a little bit. You guys know what that's like, right? So here we go. Let's read the directions. Directions. Choose 3 of the English derivatives below, look them up in an English dictionary, and write their definition. All right, so for the example, I chose the word ignore. Okay, so I'm going to write the word here, ignore, comes from. Now to do this, I have to figure out, right, the word is ignore. What does it look most like? Does it look like bonus bona bonum? Not really. Does it look like malus mala malum? What about notus nota notum? What about ignotus, ignota, ignotum? Yep. All right, so that's probably it. So I'd write ignotus, ignota, ignotum. Okay, meaning unknown. All right, and I'd look it up in the dictionary. I'd look up the word ignore. And I found, okay, to refuse, to take note, to take notice of or acknowledge something. Okay, it means to disregard intentionally. All right, so that's an example. So now your job, guys, is to go through and choose choose 3 of these to look up and figure out. Okay, you cannot use ignore because Magistra's already used that one. I'm sorry. All right, but pick any other one. There's plenty of options here, and these are all really good words too. Okay, so there's no lame word here. They're all pretty awesome. So look them up. I'm not going to go over these, but I will see them when you hand in your work packet for this week. Okay? But until then, let's go on to our grammar notes. All right, so make sure you finish this. Okay, you can either pause the video and do it now and then continue with the video, or you can do it after the video. Just make sure that this part gets done. All right? All right, so part G, grammar notes. So I'm going to read through this, and you guys should take notes while we're reading through. Okay, so follow along, and here we go. Okay, so we're going to talk about predicate adjectives. Remember when we learned about how linking verbs, like sum esse fui futurum, can tie together 2 different nouns? Well, we can also use linking verbs to tie together the subject with an adjective. We would call that adjective, you guessed it, the predicate adjective. Okay, so what does that mean? All right, so we learned that linking verbs can tie together 2 nouns. Okay, that's pretty much talking about pattern B. Okay, pattern B, SNLV, PRN. Okay, 2 nouns are being linked together by the linking verb. Okay, but now we're going to find out that there's something called pattern C. Okay, a linking verb can be used to tie together the subject with an adjective or a PRA. Okay, SNLV, PRA. This is a pattern C sentence. Okay, remember, pattern C is similar to B. A noun needs an adjective, don't use C. SNLVPRA, SNLVPRA. Pattern C is similar to B. Okay? So we just saw our first example of a pattern C sentence. Okay, now let's take a look at what this is. Right, vir est bonus. Right, that means the man, est, is bonus. Good. Okay, and we know that bonus is an adjective, right, because it's one of our new adjective vocabulary words from this week. Okay? All right, moving forward. Now let's talk about sentence patterns, which we kind of have been talking about this whole time, but that's okay. It's good to review. It's always good. We have learned about two different types of sentences so far. The difference between those two types of sentences has to do with the different kinds of verbs they use. Do you remember what the two types of verbs are? Haven't you heard? There are two kinds of verbs, the action verb and the linking verb. Action verbs tell what the subject is doing, while linking verbs tell you what the subject is. The different kinds of verbs lead to different sentence patterns, and so far we've had two of them. You need to start learning to give the parts of these sentences different labels so you can keep them straight. The first type of sentence requires just a subject and an action verb. When we label the parts of that kind of sentence, we only need to label the subject noun with SN for subject noun and the verb with a V for verb. Okay, so that's talking about sentence pattern A. Okay, remember pattern A has a simple form. It's made with a verb and a subject noun. SNV. SNV, pattern A, has a simple form. Okay, and this, introt, is an action verb. Okay, it's telling us what the wir is doing. So the wir, the man, enters. Okay, so we know that that is what that means. All right, there's an action verb and it's telling us what the subject is doing. All right, now the second kind of sentence needs to be labeled with an SN2, but the verb should be labeled LV to remind us it's a linking verb. Okay, so we've got pattern B and pattern C. Both of them have SN and V. Sorry, SNLV. Okay, but the difference is that pattern B has a predicate nominative and pattern C has a predicate adjective. Okay, now it's just a difference between what the words are. All right, so vir est magister, the man, is a magister, the man's a teacher. Okay, whereas vir est bonus, the man, is bonus. Good. The man is good. Okay? So that's it. We've seen 3 types of sentence patterns now. Okay? And your chant is going to help you remember them. So let's go through the grammar questions. Okay, number 1. There are 2 types of verbs, blank verbs and blank verbs. Okay, let's see if we can find that. Okay. There are 2 kinds of verbs, action verbs and linking verbs. Okay. So action verbs and linking verbs. Right, number 2. Action verbs tell blank. Action verbs tell what the subject is doing. Okay, so action verbs tell what the subject is doing. Okay, number 3. Linking verbs tell blank. Linking verbs tell you what the subject is. Okay, so linking verbs tell what the subject is. All right. Number 4. Linking verbs can link predicate blanks and predicate blanks. Okay, so the answer here, this one is not technically in the reading, you kind of have to think about it a little bit. But linking verbs can link predicate nominatives and predicate adjectives. All right, and the abbreviation for these is PRN and PRA. Okay, that's going to be used when we label sentences. Okay, so that was our grammar notes. Now we're going to go ahead. If you need time, you can always pause the video and copy these down. Make sure you have them. All right, but we're going to go through part H, which is grammar practice. Okay, so there's just 6 sentences. We're going to label them and we're going to translate them. We're also going to determine what kind of pattern they are. Okay, what sentence pattern is it? All right, so to kind of help us out, let's write down the sentence patterns up here. Whoops, sorry. So pattern A is SNV. Pattern B is SNLV PRN. Okay, and pattern C is SNLV PRA. Okay, so these are our sentence patterns. Let's use them. All right, now number 1. Please repeat the Latin after me. Puella clamat. All right, so we can figure this out. This is pretty simple. There's 2 words in this sentence, puella and clamat. Okay, now, which pattern only has 2 words in it? Pattern A does. Okay, and pattern A is SNV. Okay, so this is pattern A. All right, so now let's translate. So the puella, and the vocabulary is down here, by the way. Okay, so the puella, the girl, clamat. What did she do? She shouts. Okay, this is pattern A. It's telling you, all right, this action verb here, shouts, tells us that the girl, the subject, is shouting. All right, see how that works? Okay. Let me do this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Sorry. Let's try that again. Okay, we're gonna copy. Okay, and we're gonna move that right there. Okay, so now please repeat after me. Lupus est magnus. All right, so first things first. So we have 2 options here. Okay, we've got pattern B or pattern C, okay, because this sentence, number 2, has 3 words in it, and patterns B and C both have 3 words in theirs. So we know that this is SN, and we know that this has got to be an LV. Okay, but what is magnus? Is it a PRN, as in a predicate nominative? Or is it a PRA, as in a predicate adjective? Well, what does magnus mean? Let's look at our vocabulary at the bottom. Magnus means large or great. Okay, that means that this is an adjective. Okay, which means that it can't be pattern B, it's got to be pattern C. SNLVPRA for predicate adjective. Okay, so let's translate now. The lupus, the wolf, est, is, magnus, large. Run away, scary wolf. Okay, so that's sentence number 2. Now let's go on to sentence number 3. Paste paste, put that right there. Sweet. Okay. Repeat after me. Verba sunt falsa. Okay. So let's find our verb now. Well, actually, let's think about what pattern we can possibly be dealing with. All right, this sentence has 3 words in it. Okay, same as pattern B and pattern C. Okay, it can't be pattern A because pattern A only has 2 words in it. So we know that verba's got to be SN and sunt has to be LV. But what about falsa? Okay, is it a PRN or is it a PRA? Well, let's look at the vocabulary down below. Falsa comes from falsus falsa falsum, meaning false. Okay, that means this is an adjective. Whoa. So that means this has got to be a PRA. All right, so that means it's pattern C. All right, so let's translate now. The verba, the words, sunt, are falsa. The words are false. Okay? So that is our sentence. Next, number 4. Please repeat after me. Magister explorat. Okay? Now, let's use our Latin brains. There's 2 words in this sentence. So what pattern does it have to be? Which pattern has only 2 words in it? Pattern A. Okay? Because pattern B and pattern C have 3 in each. So this means it's got to be SNV. Alright, so this is pattern A. Now let's translate. The magister, the male teacher, so we'll just say the teacher, explorat. What does he do? Okay, the teacher explores. Awesome. All right, so that's sentence number 4. Sentence number 5. Okay, let's use our noggins. Please repeat after me. Terra est parva. Okay, now let's think about it. There's 3 words in this sentence. Okay, so that automatically means it can't be pattern A because that's got 2 in it. So it's got to be pattern B or pattern C. And we know that they're both starting with an SNLV. The question is, what's parva? Is it a PRN or is it a PRA? Let's look at the word. Parvus, parva, parvum means small. Okay? And that is an adjective. So parva has to be a PRA. So that means it's not pattern B, it's pattern C. All right, so let's translate now. The terra, the earth, est, is parva, small. Okay? So that's sentence number 5. And finally, number 6. Please repeat after me. Magistra est femmina. One more time. Magistra est femmina. Okay. Now, let's put our patterns here. Whoops. Okay, good enough. Let's put our patterns here. So, let's use our noggins. How many words are in this sentence? 3. So it can't be pattern A because pattern A has only 2 words in it. It's got to be pattern B or pattern C. They both start with SN and LV. But what is femina? Is it a PRN or is it a PRA? Let's look at the word down here. Okay, femina, feminae means woman. That's a noun. Okay, so that means this has to be a PRN. All right, so it can't be pattern C, it's pattern B. This is pattern B. Now let's translate. So the magistra, the teacher, est is a femina, a woman. And there you go. All right. So those are all the practice sentences we have. Make sure that you go back and you mark up and translate them. All right, make sure that's complete. Just as a reminder, okay, that's it for today's lesson. What I need you to do now, we've already watched, okay, the YouTube video. We filled out the week 6 work packet. You now have to submit that packet, okay? You also have to take the Chapter 12 Open Notebook quiz, and you have to submit your April flashcard calendar. Remember, 100 minutes minimum. Each minute you study counts for 1 point. All right? Also, as a reminder, okay, May is upon us, almost. So your May, during the month of May, you need to be continuing to study your Latin vocabulary. All right? Again, if you have any questions, just email me. I'll respond to you, whatever you need. Okay? But you guys have been great. I hope you guys are doing well and getting some fresh air at the very least. I miss you guys very much, and I will talk to you soon. Walete, Discipoli.